Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this special presentation on a pivotal moment in history that shaped the course of the world, America's use of nuclear weapons on Japan, the untold story. Today, we will embark on a journey back to the tumultuous era of World War II, exploring the context, decisions, and consequences of the devastating atomic bombings on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Join us as we unravel the complexities surrounding this momentous event. To truly understand the events leading up to the use of nuclear weapons, we must first set the stage. It was the early 1940s, and World War II was engulfing the world. The Pacific theater was witnessing fierce battles between the United States and its allies against the Japanese imperial forces. The Japanese surprise attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, had jolted the United States into the war. The Allies, led by the U.S., were engaged in a strategy of island hopping, aiming to gradually advance towards the Japanese mainland. As the war dragged on, casualties mounted on both sides, and the conflict became increasingly brutal. The U.S. and its allies were determined to bring the war to an end, but the Japanese forces displayed unwavering resilience, refusing to surrender. While the war raged on, behind closed doors, a top-secret project was underway, the Manhattan Project. Spearheaded by the United States, this ambitious initiative aimed to develop atomic bombs, harnessing the power of nuclear fission. Brilliant minds like J. Robert Oppenheimer, Enrico Fermi, and many others worked tirelessly on this project. In July 1945, the first successful test of an atomic bomb took place in the deserts of New Mexico. With the atomic bomb now a reality, a grave question loomed before President Harry S. Truman: should the United States use this unprecedented weapon of mass destruction against Japan? President Truman was faced with an immensely weighty decision. On one hand, using the atomic bomb might end the war quickly, potentially saving countless American and Japanese lives that would be lost in a full-scale invasion of the Japanese mainland. President Truman was well aware of the devastating potential of the atomic bomb. While the decision to use it was controversial, the prevailing military doctrine and concerns over the high cost of a traditional invasion played a significant role in his choice. On August 6, 1945, the B-29 bomber Enola Gay took off from the Pacific island of Tinian, carrying Little Boy, a uranium bomb. The target: Hiroshima, a city with a population of around 350,000 people. The impact of the bombing was catastrophic, with an estimated 70,000 to 80,000 people killed instantly, and thousands more suffering from severe injuries and radiation exposure. Despite the devastation, Japan did not immediately surrender. On August 9, 1945, a second atomic bomb, Fat Man, was dropped on the city of Nagasaki, leading to further devastation and loss of life. The combined impact of the atomic bombings finally pushed Japan towards surrender. On August 15, 1945, Emperor Hirohito announced Japan's unconditional surrender, effectively ending World War II. The use of nuclear weapons on Japan remains one of the most debated and contested decisions in history. The bombings resulted in the loss of hundreds of thousands of lives, and the long-term effects of radiation continue to affect survivors and their descendants to this day. The ethical implications of the bombings continue to be discussed, with arguments on both sides. Some argue that the bombings were necessary to end the war swiftly and prevent a protracted invasion with even higher casualties. Others condemn the use of such destructive weapons on civilian populations. While the atomic bombings did bring about Japan's surrender, there are serious moral concerns about targeting civilian populations with such destructive power. It raises important questions about the proportionality and ethics of warfare. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki profoundly altered the course of history. They marked the beginning of the nuclear age, with far-reaching implications for global security, geopolitics, and arms control. The devastation and loss of life from the atomic bombings urged the world to pursue nuclear disarmament and promote peace. The bombings also prompted the formation of the United Nations and efforts to prevent such catastrophic events from recurring. As we conclude this journey through history, let us remember the lessons learned from the use of nuclear weapons on Japan. It is vital that we strive for peaceful resolutions to conflicts, engage in diplomacy, and foster understanding between nations. Only then can we ensure a safer and more secure world for generations to come. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening exploration of America's use of nuclear weapons on Japan, the untold story. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video to spread awareness about this critical chapter in history. Until next time, I'm Taylor, signing off.